Do you love the roar of a V8 engine and the aggressive look of a classic muscle car? Well, in this video, we're counting down the muscle cars that didn't just dominate the streets, they skyrocketed in value to become million-dollar legends. These cars were once parked in average garages, but now they sell for prices that'll blow your mind. Keep watching till the end, because our top pick at number 10 is a true beast that went from street racer to collector's gold. Number 1. 1970 Plymouth HEMI Cuda Convertible. The 1970 Plymouth HEMI Cuda Convertible is one of the rarest muscle cars ever made. Only 14 rolled off the line that year, and that makes it a real prize for collectors. Of those 14, just 9 had the Torque Flight automatic transmission, and even more special, only 3 were meant for Canada. Under the hood is a 426 cubic inch HEMI V8, which pumps out 425 horsepower and 490 foot-pounds of torque. Dual 4-barrel carburetors and a shaker hood scoop give it a fierce look and a powerful punch on the road. One standout example wears bright lemon twist yellow paint and a tan interior. Legendary Motor Car brought it back to life with a full restoration. This is one you may have seen at shows like the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. At auction, it's crossed the $2 million mark. Number 2. 1969 Chevy Camaro ZL1. The 1969 Chevy Camaro ZL1 came from Chevrolet's COPO or COPO program and was built to race in NHRA Superstock events. Only 69 were made. Nice. Under the hood sits an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8 engine, and this powerhouse was first designed for Can-Am racing. It left the factory rated at 430 horsepower, but with tuning, it could push past 500 horsepower. Each engine was built by hand at the Tonawanda plant, a process that took about 16 hours per engine. On the street or the strip, the ZL1 really shines. It can hit 60 miles per hour in about 5.1 seconds and covered the quarter mile in roughly 13 seconds. The price tag was pretty steep for the time, about $7,200, which is nearly twice as much as a standard Camaro. Fred Gibbs Chevrolet ordered most of the first batch and found sales to be pretty slow, eventually sending cars to other dealers. Over time, however, its rarity and power made it a favorite among collectors, and at auction, these cars have sold for over $700,000. Number 3. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The '69 Dodge Charger Daytona is one of the most exciting American muscle cars you can find. Dodge built it to do better in NASCAR, giving it a pointed nose cone and a 23-inch tail wing out back. Those parts helped it slice through the air and stay steady when it's flying down the track. And in 1970 at Talladega Superspeedway, Buddy Baker drove one past 200 miles an hour, the first time a NASCAR ever hit that mark. Under the hood, this baby's packing a 440 cubic inch Magnum V8 putting out 375 horsepower, but if you wanted even more punch, you could get the 426 cubic inch HEMI V8. This one made 425 horsepower, but only 70 of them were built, just enough to meet NASCAR's rules about how many street cars had to exist. The Daytona proved itself right away, racking up win after win in 1969 and 1970. Its sleek shape and strong engine gave it a clear edge on the track, and today, collectors chase these cars. In fact, as recently as 2022, a HEMI-powered Daytona sold for $1.32 million. Not enough? Another one with low miles and a rare paint color went for $1.43 million. These prices show just how much people still love this car. Number 4. 1971 Pontiac GTO Judge Convertible. Pontiac made only 17 of these drop tops in 1971, so spotting one today is a real treasure. Pop the hood and you'll see a massive 455 cubic inch V8 engine. It puts out 335 horsepower and 480 foot-pounds of torque, so you feel the power with every press of the pedal. The engine breathes through round port heads, a quadrajet carburetor, and a dual-plane aluminum intake manifold. You get a 3-speed Muncie manual gearbox as standard, but you could step up to a 4-speed manual or a turbo Hydra-matic 400 automatic. On the outside, the Judge wears its name proudly. You get bold "The Judge" decals, 3-color stripes, a rear spoiler, and Rally 2 wheels. A few cars even came with honeycomb-style wheels and a hood-mounted tachometer. Inside, you slide into bucket seats and grab the center console. Because only 17 were made, collectors really value these cars. One Laurentian Green example sold at auction for $232,500. Experts say a well-kept Judge in excellent shape can fetch up to $378,000, and a perfect show-quality model might reach nearly $460,000. Your bank account crying yet? Number 5. 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake. Carroll Shelby built this one-off Mustang for a Goodyear tire test, fitting it with a 427 cubic inch V8 straight from the Ford GT40 Mark II race car. It had aluminum heads, a forged crank, and race-grade internals so it could hit 170 miles an hour at top speed and keep an average of 142 miles per hour over 500 miles. This run proved that both the car and those Thunderbolt tires really could go the distance. Sadly though, they never made another one. Back in 1967, the Super Snake would have cost about $8 grand, twice what a regular GT500 sold for, so Shelby held off on mass production. Thus, only the prototype ever existed. Over the years, it passed through a few collections and then shocked everyone when it sold for $2.2 million at a Make-Em auction in 2019, setting a record for the highest priced Mustang ever sold at auction. Fast forward to 2018, and Shelby America decided to honor the legend. They built 10 new continuation Super Snakes using original 1967 Mustang Fastbacks. These carry modern updates under the hood, but keep every classic detail on the outside. Each one even bears Carroll Shelby's and Don McCain's signatures, linking them back to the original car. Number 6. 1970 Chevrolet Chevel SS454 LS6. The Chevel SS454 LS6 is a true American icon. It comes with a 450 horsepower engine that growls every time you step on the gas. You also get 500 foot-pounds of torque at 3,600 RPM. That instant punch launches you hard into your seat. Under the hood, you'll find a forged steel crankshaft and solid lifters. An 800 CFM Holley 4-barrel carburetor feeds the engine. To unlock all that power, it needs high-octane fuel. And you can pick between a 4-speed Muncie M22 Rock Crusher manual or the Turbo Hydra-matic 400 3-speed automatic. Rear axle ratios range from 3.31 to 1 up to 4.10 to 1. Posit traction was also an option if you wanted extra grip. In quarter-mile runs, it clocked in at about 13.1 seconds at roughly 107 miles an hour, and that outpaced many rivals of its day. On the outside, it commands attention. A blacked-out grille and 4 headlamps stare you down. The cowl induction hood has a flap that opens up to gulp air. Bulging fenders show off wide tires, and the rectangular taillights sit in a redesigned rear bumper that hugs the body. Collectors simply can't resist this car, with many models having sold for over $150,000. With its raw power, bold styling, and low production numbers, it still turns heads at every show. Number 7. 1965 Shelby Cobra 427. The 65 Shelby Cobra 427 is pure thrill on wheels. Carroll Shelby took the lighter 289 Cobra and gave it a massive 7.0-liter V8 engine. As you can imagine, that engine needed room, so Shelby widened the frame by 5 inches and swapped leaf springs for coil springs. The result? Sharper handling and rock-steady stability. The body now wears flared fenders for wide tires, and those tires grip every corner with confidence. The standard model churns out 425 horsepower, rocketing from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.2 seconds. And on a clear stretch, you can reach up to 164 miles an hour. Want even more power? The SC Competition version kicks it up to 485 horsepower and hits 185 miles an hour at top speed. Numbers that even today still draw awe. The Cobra made its name in SCCA A production races. It racked up wins and turned heads on the track. Only 343 of these legends rolled off the line, and that makes each one a prized find. Originals in great shape or with a racing history often sell for over $1 million. Collectors chase these for a pretty darn good reason. Number 8. 1971 Plymouth GTX Hemi. The 71 Plymouth GTX Hemi is a rare beast. It packs a 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, giving 425 horsepower on tap. This power arrived just as muscle cars were losing favor, which allowed the GTX Hemi to roar back into the limelight. Under the hood, you could choose a TorqueFlite automatic or a 4-speed manual. This choice let drivers feel every shift and every surge of speed. Only 30 of the 2,942 GTXs that year wore the Hemi badge, making them ultra rare. Plymouth also rolled out its new fuselage look, giving smooth curves to replace blocky edges, a style that still looks fresh today. The GTX Hemi jumped from 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds and ran the quarter mile in the low 13-second range. Those numbers put it in top company back then. As you can imagine, collectors love to chase this car. One example sold for $374,000 at Make-em, and drivers at shows still fight for a chance to own this one today. Number 9. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. The '69 Ford Mustang Boss 429 shows what happens when you go all in on power. Ford built it to race in NASCAR, and that big 429 cubic inch engine V8 gave it a real edge. Under the hood is a semi-Hemi 429 V8. It gets fuel through a 735 CFM Holley 4-barrel carburetor and a high-riser intake manifold. Ford rated it at 375 horsepower, but many owners say it feels stronger. And that power yanks you up to 60 miles an hour in about 5.3 seconds and covers the quarter mile in just over 14 seconds. Coming only in a sports roof fastback, it looks tough. A huge hood scoop sits right at the front, a matte black chin spoiler adds attitude. Dual racing mirrors and wide F60x15 tires on chrome Magnum 500 wheels finish the look. Only 859 Boss 429s were made in 1969. This makes it one of the rarest Mustangs ever. These days, they're one of the most sought-after Mustangs by collectors, and clean examples go for six-figure prices at auction and private sales. Number 10. 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. The 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 makes a strong case for Buick in the muscle car world. It joined the GS455 lineup halfway through the year, and Buick built it to go toe-to-toe with the Chevel SS and HEMI Cuda. Adding the $199 Stage 1 package gave it extra muscle and style. Under the hood, you get a 455 cubic inch V8. It's got a tougher camshaft and bumps compression to 10.5 to 1. Buick rated it at 360 horsepower, but most agree it really pushes up to about 390. Even more impressive is the 510 foot-pound torque. In fact, the GSX held the record for the highest torque figure of any US production car until the arrival of the Dodge Viper in 2003. In performance tests, it hit 60 miles an hour in about 5.8 seconds and ran the quarter mile in 13.38 seconds at 105.5 miles an hour. Times like this kept it in the top tier of muscle cars back then. Buick built just 470 Stage 1s in 1970, and that low number makes today's examples highly prized. In April of 2022, one sold for $136,000, and in July of 2024, another bought for $162,000. Hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for sticking with us through these incredible machines that turned into million-dollar legends. Was one of these your favorite? Or is there another multi-million-dollar car that you know about that we don't? Let us know in the comments below.